Hello, everyone. We are back on the We're Going 5 podcast. Let's get into this as quick as possible. The Aussie Open 2025 is done and dusted with. Let's get into this because we have some amazing historic storylines that we need to discuss. First off, the one, the only, the king of Australia, Jannik Sinner takes down Alexander Zverev in 3 sets to win his second Australian Open. Ismaeel, I want your thoughts on this man.
Yeah, honestly, it was a super impressive 2 weeks because it really felt like he was never, it was never in doubt. He showed to me the best form across the 2 weeks. He was unplayable at times in this tournament. First of all, the round 1 win against Nico Yarri, it should not be impressive.
That's probably the toughest match he had.
It was the most challenging one. Yarri played amazing, and he couldn't touch him. Yeah. His level was the best across the tournament. The way he downed Demon 3-2-1, that was so impressive. And the level I saw in that match was like, if he's going to bring that to the final, I really don't know if anyone can challenge him. He looks like he doesn't have any weaknesses in his game. His serve was unstoppable again today.
It was amazing.
Yeah. Zverev did some really good returning in that second set, and he could not find a way to break.
Yeah.
He faced no break points. We've never seen that happen before, except for a couple times.
Yeah. Just him, Roger, Rafa. They're the only ones that have been able to do this.
It was an unbelievable performance from him from 2 weeks. I thought he was the best player, and he deserved this win. He's the king of the Australian Open now, back-to-back titles. He loves the fast, hard courts. He's the most clutch player I think we have right now. It's just he's the number one.
Yeah.
He plays like a world number one. He's dominant. He's composed. He's poised. He shows up in the big moments. And he's brave when he has to be. And I was so impressed by just the packaging of the run.
Man, 16 out of 8. Like, he's won the last 16 of the last 18 tie breaks he's played.
That shows you how clutch he is.
What's that? That's
like,
insane.
when it comes to the big points, he's more clutch. And just overall, right now, he looks untouchable. Just over the past couple months, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I'm impressed by how he was seemingly easily able to lift this trophy. I thought the match would be more competitive. I'm a little bit disappointed in Zverev, but let me hear what you guys have to say first.
Haroon, you picked Jannik to win this, so I want your thoughts first.
Of course I picked Jannik to win this. Any match, Jannik against anybody, except maybe Djokovic, because I picked Djokovic. But other than that, the guy's insane. Like, he's standing on the shoulder of giants, though. I have to give credit to the big three, and especially Djokovic, because he looks like Djokovic on steroids. He looked like he studied everything Djokovic can do, and he just tried to perfect it. It's crazy. Like, I feel like he never gives anybody any chance to do anything. It's like he's so aggressive. He give any little opening that you just show that any weakness, he just pounces on it and he kills it. And he serves amazing. Like, Shelton obviously has a super big serve and all these big servers that we have, but Sinner's serve is so effective. It's like a dagger. It's awesome. He places it amazingly. He puts the right amount of power, and it is tough. And just mentally, he's insane. Except maybe just when Shelton had a set point, and he thought, and also Holger gave him some fits, but it felt like you never think Sinner's gonna lose, and you think that somebody has to play an insane level to beat him. It's crazy. Like, he's an absolute world number one, like you were saying, Ismaeel. Rightfully so. He's elite. He's an elite player, and he deserves it. And I don't know, he might be he's on track to be the best hardcore player of all time. It's crazy. I'm beyond impressed. I don't know who can beat him. Maybe Fonseca or something. I don't know. What do you think, Yousef?
Obviously I picked Sasha to win. I think I was trying to convince myself because Sasha's been waiting so long. So every single time it comes,
it would have been a nice story. We were rooting for him to see it for tennis. We would have loved to see it.
Yeah, the storyline was amazing, and I probably wanted it to happen more than I expected it to happen. But I fully own up to that. So, I said we were talking about, like, in the preview, how Jannik hasn't been tested. He hasn't been tested because that's what we think, but they are testing him. No one's just able to do anything.
You can't test him. He's untouchable. He's unplayable.
It's crazy because Sasha didn't play bad. It came down to a few points here and there, and we talked about like how it like in that first set that break at 3-all and then sets over, and then the tie break, the net cord at 4-all sets over, and then
the net cord like it was really unlucky.
That broke him. That broke him. You
It
can
broke
see
him.
he was absolutely devastated after that.
Like he looked at his team and he was like, again, it's gonna happen to me again.
It came at like the worst time. It came at the worst. That net cord came at the worst time. 4-all in the tiebreak, and that gives Sinner a mini break. And as Haroon, you're saying he's playing like he's serving amazing. So 2 serves and it was over. And then 2 sets to love down. How do you come back from that against Jannik Sinner?
It's tough.
Like the man is playing in like the tennis that he's playing right now. And like you said, Haroon, I'm watching the match. I picked Sasha to win the match, but I'm watching him like it looks like there's no way unless Sasha pulls off a miracle here, because the level that he's playing at and the composure, like even the dips that he had. The dips that he had, what they were for a few points.
Yeah, like
for a few points to get like maybe Sasha gets a love 30. Maybe he got like he didn't even get to the break point.
Yeah.
Like he didn't even get the dip did not even reach the point where Sasha gets a love 40, a 15-40. It didn't even get to that point.
He got to love 30 a couple times and he could do nothing.
But then he just comes right back.
He got nowhere with that love 30s.
The tennis is amazing, but the mental fortitude is beyond compare. It seems like I haven't seen this. Who have we seen this from?
No, like it's because like Haroon said, he's like Djokovic on steroids because he's on steroids because he takes everything so early. He's so on top of the baseline. He's so aggressive. And he hits so hard.
He hits so hard, but the unforced errors do not come that often.
Yeah, they don't come. I was telling you, like Djokovic, he's so consistent. He hits so hard.
Like
that's not normal.
I'm watching. You're watching the rallies. Like Sasha is as complete as a player comes, and the forehands and backhands. We know the forehand's a bit shaky at times, but it's as solid as can be. You're watching the rallies. When's Sasha gonna make the mistake? I'm never once thinking in my mind when is Jannik gonna make the mistake, and when he does, I'm surprised.
Yeah, it's true. The unforced errors are super low for how hard and aggressive he is, and also it's really hard to out-hit Sasha. Like you feel like. Most of Sasha's matches, he's like, all right, you can't out-hit me.
On the forehand side, yes. The backhand side, no.
Sinner, for the most part, was really like, for the second set, it was tense, and he couldn't out-hit Sasha. But I think Sasha lost belief in himself even. He's like, I can't out-hit Jannik. I can't even hang in these rallies as much.
But he had there were some openings there where Jannik was using the drop shots. He was trying to change up the game plan because I think Sasha was just so solid.
He was solid for the second set. He was solid there.
And let's talk about Sasha a bit. Let me talk about Sasha because Sasha, I think something that I loved seeing is that he wanted to be more aggressive. He came out with a game plan. He was coming forward. The approach shots.
For me, it wasn't enough.
I know, but like I'm talking about just the game plan in general. The coming forward, the going in, to trying to finish points off the volley. The approach shots were not good. They were like, subpar.
I wanted him to come in more. He didn't come in enough.
I think he came in. He was coming in the beginning of the match a lot. It's just it wasn't converting into points. It wasn't like the volleys were not good enough. The approaches were not good enough. And I think that's ultimately what led him to. We saw, for example, Medvedev last year when he in the final, he was doing it, and he was able to come in and he took a 2-sets-to-love lead, right, Haroon? And then Sasha came in today. He tried to implement the same exact plan, I guess, in a way, but it wasn't working. I think because there was no conviction when he was coming forward. But I love the idea of, okay, I'm gonna try to mix things up. I'm gonna try to improve as a player and change up my game plan.
Sadly,
right?
sadly, I don't think Zverev came to play today. I think he expected like Sinner, I don't know, to let down his guard or something or feel the pressure. Zverev did not play his best match at all. This is not remotely close to. He played way better matches before, and he gave up early on. It's
I wouldn't consider it giving up. I just felt like it was.
I mean, I honestly feel like after the net cord, he lost belief and the match was over. Yeah. I mean,
you can see it on his face.
It was over. It was over, and the way he showed up in the first game of the next set, and then he got broken early. This match was night, sleep tight after that. I thought that Sasha was gonna die for this match. You know, Rafa was like, "I'll die for this. I'll die. I'm ready to die on the court." I wanted to see Zverev be like, I'm gonna go out swinging. I'm gonna give it a go. Like, fight for the fourth. Yeah. Fight for the fourth, and if you get the fourth, let him get tight, and then fight for the third. Sorry, and then you get the fourth, and then fight for. But he didn't turn it into a dogfight. Like, he needed it to grind. I told you, he needs to get this match grind. He wants long points. There were long points. Keep it going. Like, don't lose belief. Even after that net cord, I wanted to see a champion mentality and like, all right, it's okay. I'm going to try to get these next two. I'll get one of the next two and get back on my serve. He was in that for the set point I think it wasn't just the service winner or ace. He was there. I didn't like the attitude he showed. The body language was bad from the first set. From the first set, it was bad.
The body language has been the same since the beginning of the tournament. I thought he was just so locked in, trying to get to the final, and he's going to unleash. We always see that Sasha roar. We didn't see that.
I said it was a cakewalk. I said it was a cakewalk. He got super lucky with his draw. He didn't face anybody to give him any pressure whatsoever. So he
faced
he
Tommy
didn't prepare.
Paul. He faced Djokovic for
he
a
was
set.
more clutch than Tommy, so I give him credit for that. And honestly, I felt like for the Djokovic match, I thought he was mentally there. Yeah. And I take that from the tiebreak. He played the tiebreak very well. Yeah. Today, he did not have that energy.
The energy was off.
He swung the racket like many times. Like, he was looking at his box. He was chirping more to his box. No, not today. Like stay present. Like, have belief. Like, be ready to die. Like, I wanted to see more of that because he was showing that since Paris, the Paris Masters. Yeah. He's back on the practice court after every win. Like, even he was talking about in the Australian Open, he was winning matches and saying, I have a date with the practice court. Like, that's the commitment that I believe can take him to a slam. But no, I didn't like the mental today, and he needed to serve amazing. He didn't serve amazing. There was I think one of the games he gave up a break point by having a double fault. He got nervous. He was also maybe going softer on some of those second serves. It was not the way he needs to play. Like, I would have liked to see.
Being passive at some.
It was passive, and you said
like. But by the way, during
which is the worst way Zverev could play.
But he was up. He had 15. He won 15 pressure points, and Sinner had 110. So I don't know. It just he didn't keep it up the entire match.
It wasn't at the right times. I don't know how they can't count these pressure points, but when it was really crunch time, he was not the crunch player. And honestly, I think it looked like he was trying to be more aggressive. For me, it wasn't. Like, compare him in this match today against Djokovic and when you won Djokovic in the Olympics. That was aggressive. He was going for it. Like, there was so much conviction on the shot. I'm looking at his net points. He's 14 from 27. So, okay, he went 27 times to the net, but I don't think he went enough. And when he went, it wasn't with conviction. The approach shots were not with conviction.
No,
it was he didn't do it enough. And when he did it, he didn't do it well.
I don't think his game matches up well against Sinner, though. Like, his forehand is too big of a liability. Sinner's gonna eat that all day. He doesn't match up well with Sinner at all.
That's why he wanted to add the coming forward. That's why he wanted to add that to the arsenal. But I guess you had to at least practice it in the matches before.
Yeah, and he didn't have to be that version of himself that he had to beat Sinner.
He was actually winning when he was like trademark Sasha.
Yeah, he won trademark Sasha way, and even though he was a little bit more aggressive statistically, they say he's been like 7% closer. I don't know to the baseline, but I don't think he did enough. I don't think there was conviction. No, for me it wasn't enough.
But let's not take as much as but let's not take away from Sinner. Sinner's
Haroon saying like he doesn't match up well against Sinner. Guess what? No one does.
No one
matches up against Sinner. Alcaraz has because I think Alcaraz is in his head. I don't even think Alcaraz matches up well against Sinner. I think he's just in his head. No one matches up well against Sinner. He's the best. Also, Sinner with some incredible returning today.
Yeah,
that was amazing. It was an amazing return performance. Sasha was on his back foot so much today. Sinner played amazing, and
this is a historic day for and I think we're just gonna keep adding historic days to Jannik Sinner and Italian tennis. He's the only player to win 3 Grand Slam titles, singles titles. Like, And add on to that he has the best record. He's tied with, I think, Jimmy Connors, and I don't know who else is the other one. Like for the best record for their first 50 matches as world number 1, he's 47-3.
Crazy.
And then add on to that, like the fact that he's won the last 5 big tournaments he's
For me,
played.
that's incredible.
He's 29-0.
For me, that's incredible.
2 Masters, so he wins Cincy, and then he wins the U.S. Open, and then he wins Shanghai, and he wins the ATP Finals. Then he adds the Australian Open now.
For me, that's
What is
incredible.
that?
It's
What is
incredible because that means like Haroon saying, is he going to be the best hard court player of all? Those are all the forms of hard court.
He's on the way. He's on the way.
And he's dominating it, and it's not close.
Yeah.
The fact that he hasn't lost a set to a top 10 player in his last 10 matches,
It's
what is
insane.
it?
Yeah.
That's not normal.
21 consecutive sets won against the
You're
top
not supposed
10.
to dominate top 10s.
No one has done that. Not Roger, not Novak, not Rafa. No one.
We're in uncharted territory here. He's arguably the most dominant world number 1 we've seen in a long, long time.
Yeah.
And it's incredible how he's doing it, because I don't think he played his best tennis this tournament.
No, he's Djokovic on steroids. I'm telling you, Djokovic on steroids.
What's his? How much more can he improve?
I don't know. It's perfect.
I feel like he had
It's
another
perfect, yeah.
gear. I feel like he had another. I honestly don't feel like he had to play his
What
best.
I think what you want is maybe you want to see more slice, more drop shots, more. But other than that, like the guy.
Yeah, sure, there are like tiny
What do you wanna
areas in
see?
tennis he can improve, but like for him, like I feel like we've seen him play better.
Yeah, but I agree
He
with
wipes-
I agree
he
with what
hasn't
you're
been-
saying,
cause-
Ismail. But
cause
he
he-
didn't
cause
play
he's
his best tennis
dominating.
because he didn't choose to. Like his best tennis
He
looks
didn't
like
have to.
when he played with a demon like Alex
Yeah.
de Minaur. That was his best tennis,
that
maybe.
was-
But he didn't choose to play like that with everybody else. Yeah.
When I saw what he did to Demon, I really thought there's no. That's why I picked him. I have not seen that level of tennis.
You know,
I don't know if I've ever seen anyone play that level against anyone ever.
I'm telling you,
against what he did
Djokovic.
to Demon. Again, and Djokovic, but he hits harder,
He hits harder. Yeah.
and his serve is bigger.
His serve is bigger.
Yeah. I like. We none of us picked Jannik to win a slam this year. Can you imagine
We're
the
gonna have to revise
disrespect?
that pick. We're gonna have to revise that pick.
The
That's,
disrespect that's.
I'm sorry.
We're
Yannick,
so
and all
dumb.
of Italy. Apologies. That was.
Apologies. We are so dumb. We are so
We
dumb.
are so dumb. I was so hyped on Alcaraz, I forgot that Sinner is actually.
And
way
I was so
better
hyped on Djokovic this Australian Open, and obviously we have to revisit.
No,
all
but
our
but
takes.
We are.
but,
We are.
but
We're
again,
gonna revisit all those.
hindsight 2020. Like nobody
Obviously.
did what he did before, and nobody's like putting on.
Yeah, but we should have seen it coming. He's won the last 4 big titles, and he was untouched in all of them.
I have an overreaction, but when we get into that,
Let's get
Yeah,
we're gonna
we
discuss.
thought somebody was gonna like recoup and bring on some heat after the off season. I thought somebody was gonna
Yeah.
do something
Yeah.
different,
Yeah.
but
no one
Yeah.
came close. Huh?
No one came
close.
No one came close.
Imagine the guys that take sets off you are Holgaroon, which obviously
and
Holger
School
amazing.
Kate, don't
And School
disrespect
Kate.
School Kate.
Those are the guys. That's it. Those are the guys.
Put some
Respect to School Kate
put some
and Roon.
put some respect on
And
School
Roon,
Kate's
yeah.
name.
Yes, we shall.
Yeah.
And one last thing, let's keep watching the Sinner on hard courts, huh?
Yeah.
Like you were talking about Ismaeel, his record. So he's 60-3 since the beginning of last season. Let's see how far this one goes,
That's unbelievable.
because it
And-
might not be
And
ending
only
anytime soon.
two of those losses to Alcaraz and
Yeah.
one to Rublev, which we didn't see come.
Yeah. So that's gonna be insane.
It's unbelievable.
To watch.
I also want to say I think Roon played him the closest
Yeah.
this tournament, and so if there's anything positive to take away for Roon, he should say like, I give Jannik the most run for his money.
Yeah.
You think
I talked about it last episode.
Roon though adds like some spice to it. He adds some mental game to it. He tries to get Sinner off his game, think too much a lot. Nobody else does that. Tennis wise,
Roon,
I don't know
mean,
for
not
Roon.
to- no, I think Roon can hang with the firepower. His serve's not good enough. He's not mentally complete or physically. But let's see.
Yeah. But yeah, so Sinner, we've talked about the man. We've talked about his amazing run. Now we have to talk about, probably to me, this was the best title run by far I've seen in a long time. We have to talk about the one and only Madison Keys. Haroon, your dark horse.
Haroon, congrats. You picked Madison, and she was on fire coming in. Great job.
Come on, give us your take.
What a feeling. Awesome to root for Madison Keys. What a beast.
Awesome.
What a beast. The first person to beat a world number 1, a world number 2 since 2009. Wow, just amazing. She plays awesome. She plays with so much.
I get goosebumps while you're talking, by the way.
She is awesome. I love the way also she beats, like, she had so many close matches with Sabalenka, with Iga. Clutch,
So
super clutch. Maintaining her mental composure. Ice in her veins, but she's brave. It's not that she's brave.
Yes.
She's going for it. She knows the level
Yes.
of pressure that where she's at. She knows it's a critical point, and she's still playing hard. Amazing. Like all the changes she did with her coach and her husband to change rackets, to play with lots of power. It's so smooth to watch her play. Like, it's so fun to really see her, and great to root for her, because also, like, she's been through a lot. She's been grinding. She wants this for so long. Awesome. I've seen her play before Australian Open. I knew something was coming. I picked her. Nobody had her, but I knew that she was going to win. Yes. Let's go, Madison Keys. Awesome.
You know, I picked Sabalenka to win the tournament. I'm watching the match, and I kept telling you guys while we're watching the match, I picked Sabalenka, and I actually thought she was going to win because Sabalenka's been through this so many times. But it would be so nice to see Madison Keys win this tournament, and she did it. And again, when you're talking how to win, I got goosebumps because it was an amazing run. The entire story. 8 years ago, she was in her first Grand Slam final, got smacked by Sloane Stephens, and here she is 8 years later, and she finally lifts that Grand Slam trophy. An amazing story, so inspiring. I loved every moment of it. Every single moment.
It was so awesome. It was so fun. I've been rooting for her since the quarterfinals, and I had her taking out Sabalenka in 3 because she's winning every match in final sets since the quarterfinals, since round 4, round of 16, and it shows you how clutch she is. And like you guys said, just an awesome story. It's like she's such a nice, likable, humble person.
Yeah.
I shed tears when she won and lifted that trophy because it was so moving to me, and I love her story. And it can't happen to a better person. I've become such a big fan of her, and people coming out and saying how much they love her, and she's so humble, and just how she's so authentic and honest about her struggles and how she got here. And and just let's give credit to her tennis, because she has the firepower to match Sabalenka, Iga, and Rybakina, to down them all. And also before that, Collins.
Exactly.
And so she...
And
4 top 10
Svitolina
players.
also.
And Svitolina. She took out
Former top 10 players.
Grand Slam champions, top 10 players, and she did it convincingly. And she had to win those matches. Like in the Sabalenka match, I was like, Sabalenka's here. Like, even after the first set, it was 6-1. Like, Sabalenka's not going away. She's a champion.
Yeah, exactly.
She's tried and tested, and Sabalenka is awesome. Yeah. She took out an awesome Sabalenka. That was an amazing final.
Yeah.
She took out an amazing Iga to go in the final set, super tiebreak. She was down match point. She could have gone home.
She forgot that there was a match
She
point.
forgot. She was so locked in, and she was so brave. The fact that she rose up to the occasion, knowing that she's afraid in those occasions, and she overcame those demons, and she's like, no. And she talked about in her presser, I wanted to lose and be proud of myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to play the way I wanted to play, so if I go home proud. Yeah. And Maddie, you should be proud. That was awesome.
That was awesome.
It was the most fun women's Grand Slam final I've seen, I think, in a very, very long time. If it might be ever. I loved it all. A huge Madison.
Two things.
She's
So
great for tennis.
Yeah. 2 things I want to say. But first thing is, how awesome is it to have someone who believes in you the way her husband believed in her?
Amazing.
That's just like when you like, this girl had so many struggles, and she came and she fought through all that. She finally wins a Grand Slam, and your coach is your husband, and just shows how much, if you have someone who believes in you, you can accomplish anything. It was amazing, and actually makes me emotional thinking about that. It was an amazing story. And next thing I want to talk about, by the way, it's not a hot take, and I think it's true. Women's tennis and Grand Slams have been much more enjoyable than men's tennis.
Facts.
This, like, what we saw the last U.S. Open, what we saw in this Australian Open, women's tennis. Let's start talking about women's tennis in a completely different light now. People keep talking about back and forth. We don't know who's going to win. We have some amazing players playing, and Madison Keys just showed us how amazing of a story it is. I love Jannik Sinner, everything he's doing, but Madison Keys is the story. She is the champion of the week for me.
100%. I love what you said about her husband, and I got so emotional watching all that in the press conferences, and he won the coach of the tournament and that
And by the way, today we had Darren Cahill and Simone. They both stood on the podium. He took his trophy and he left because it's his wife's time. It's awesome.
Awesome. I love them. I'm never gonna be a Madison, gonna root against Madison ever. You never see that from me. Just
Come
incredible
on.
story.
Join the boat.
And,
Join the terrain.
So happy for it was just this is why you love sports, because you see these stories, and I think she won the hearts of the world. The whole world was so happy for Maddie.
Everybody's so happy for Maddie. But who was the happiest for Maddie? And who knew we were going to be happy for Maddie? Me! Who do you think you are? I am!
Was this the best title run you've ever seen?
Of course, 100%. I don't know. We're going to have to go down to the history books and see, but it's an amazing one. I don't know how many Grand Slam champions do you have to beat so you can be considered the best title run, but
she took out 4 Grand Slam champions.
Insane.
I'm going to remember this one for a long, long time.
4 Grand Slam champions, 5 former top 10, 4 top 10. For me, it's the best.
Wow.
It's the best. It's the best.
I can't say that. I'm gonna have to go back and check. But
go back and check. But
will this go down as one of the title runs that I remember for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah. Unforgettable. She has amazing firepower. I'm very high on her for the rest of the season. She's free of the demons. Let's see Maddie.
But she also said that I used to define myself by if I win a slam. She said I remove that demon. I move that monkey off my back, and then. Surprise.
How ironic
you remove
is
that monkey off your back
ironic.
and you actually win a Grand
What
Slam.
a lesson. What a mental lesson for all young players out there is just relieve yourself from expectations and be more process oriented, and don't define yourself by results, and put in the work, and you can become a slam.
Madison Keys, you're amazing.
Amazing. Guys, so we talked about the champions of the week for the Australian Open. We can't go on without talking about the man himself, the GOAT of tennis, Novak Djokovic, and what happened. And where does it go from here, Yousef?
I'm going to stick to the tennis right now because I want to get into the other stuff in a bit. But tennis-wise, I think Novak Djokovic looked the best in the Australian Open out of all the players. Now we can exclude Sinner, but I can even say I would think a healthy Djokovic would go toe-to-toe and he would rise to the occasion. So I think Djokovic looks amazing. I have nothing changes. Nothing changes in that regard. The tennis was perfect. It just came down to the injury, unfortunately. I think come 25 and 25 still alive. I don't think it's going anywhere. People thinking, oh, it's over. I don't think so. So I'm loving the partnership with Murray. I think that should continue. I know he said they're going to revisit. But overall, I think Djokovic is here to stay. I hope he recovers as fast as possible from the injury so he can come back. And I think his best chance to win a slam is probably Roland Garros. So I hope he comes and he's ready at that time and nothing injury related comes up. Because if we talk about tennis is 100% there for another slam. What's up with the injuries though? I need to see a healthy Djokovic. Please, because I haven't seen that in a while now.
Haroon, what do you see from Novak in Australia?
He's awesome. The boy's a beast. He can still hang with anybody as if he chooses to. What he needs to do is just rest. Like I said, what I said with Jannik, just eat some fruits. Make sure he rests, he recovers. Make sure that he's healthy as a horse. The guy has the tennis to keep on going for a long, long time. He still has the power. He has pop on his serve. He has pop on his forehand and backhand. And he's moving great. He just needs to stay healthy to see if Murray's going to be with him or not. Maybe, I don't know if he needs Murray. I don't know how much. He said Murray was a big help to him. And I think Murray adds a lot of firepower and intensity to him. So he feels like he gets some more energy and he wants to win more for himself. Maybe, I don't know if he needs to win more, but maybe he wants to win for Murray. So I want Murray to stay with him. I want him to be healthy. But maybe he can pick some Masters titles to play. But as long as he just focus on the slams, the guy's gonna be fine. Any tournament Djokovic plays a big title, I'm gonna pick him for the rest of the year.
Okay, Ismaeel.
I remember when he lost to Sinner last year in the Australian Open. He said he didn't find his level. Remember that comment, and it was true. He didn't have a good level. And, you know, for the rest of the year, he brought a good level to RG. I think we can say that. And then the Olympics, he showed an amazing level when he had to. Other than that, really, I didn't see the Djokovic level. You know, the level that wins big titles all the time. And
Did you see it this tournament?
we saw it. We saw it. And so I love that. I was super reassured. We saw the level. Like, he has the best Djokovic level. It's there.
Yeah.
It didn't go anywhere. It might be better because I was so impressed with his win over Alcaraz. So impressed. He played amazing. And it wasn't even his best level. So he beat Alcaraz playing a great level, not his best level.
On one leg.
He was playing on one leg. He didn't serve as well as he could. And he can even play better.
Won 3 straight sets against Alcaraz on one leg.
That was amazing.
At 37 years of age.
That was amazing. It was amazing. So his level's there. I'm not worried about the level. The recovery, yeah, he's going to be out for a bit. So I hope that doesn't harm his momentum because he built up a lot of nice momentum. I was really hoping, like, even if he didn't lift the title, that momentum was going to carry into good stuff. So there's a minor setback here, but I'm still really high on him for the rest of the season. I loved what I saw. He's sharp. He's motivated. I think it's great. Yousef, you said he's going to get 25. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just think, like, because you know how we're saying who can hang with Sinner? Obviously, we have Alcaraz because he's just a matchup nightmare for him, and he rises up to the occasion against Sinner. I think the only person that can hang with Sinner mentally is Novak Djokovic.
100%.
There's no one else at the moment.
Yeah, 100%.
So if the tennis is there and the mental is there, it's gonna be a gladiator battle between these two.
It's going to be awesome.
I hope we see one before we get to RG.
Yeah, it would be really nice to see.
I want to see one on hard.
Yeah, and I'm so impressed with how Djokovic played Alcaraz because he dominated him this time.
Yeah.
Like the other matchups were close. This time it was domination. I wonder how much of that was tactical because now with Andy on his team and they're saying he was playing more flat to the middle low and it was like keeping Alcaraz on his back foot. He couldn't have much to do. So I'm intrigued to see a matchup with Sinner. What would be the new Murray adjustments to the Sinner game? Because I don't see any weaknesses in Sinner's game, but I'm sure Murray and Djokovic know what they need to do to attack him. And so I'm really, really excited for that. So I'm not going to rule. So Djokovic didn't beat Sinner last year. He was injured. He wasn't in form. I want to see now what it will look like. The best tennis is there.
The hunger is there also. The hunger
is there. The fire, the mental, just the way even Juan Carlos Ferreira talked about, like he was mesmerized by how Djokovic handled the big moments. And that's Djokovic. He's built for this. Yeah. He breathes the big moments and he controls the tempo of the match. Like I watched, like when I was watching the match, like he controlled that match from the beginning to end. And he even controlled the Zverev match. Like had he wanted to go, I think, like had he continued on one leg, he could have probably still done some damage with Zverev. Like he's just like, I can't hang like for 4 more hours of this but the mental is amazing and never count out that type of champion.
It's a shame he got injured. It's such
really
a shame
because the Jannik matchup would have been so
Sasha matchup too. That looked like it was gonna be a nice one, and then if he won that one, we expected him to win that one. Then
yeah, it's true.
But we're high on him.
We're super high.
A quick recovery, though.
Yeah, let's play for hope. A quick recovery. Do you think he'll play Doha?
I think the check is big, and he needs to recover soon because I think there's some good money over there, and it's stacked.
Yeah.
It's stacked. Everyone's going.
I hope he can play, but you know, like
it's an ATP 500 this year.
It's an ATP 500. You know, a hamstring tear is not nice. I just had a hamstring tear myself, and so it took me a long time to recover.
Is it a hemi tear?
It's a hemi tear. So on the MRI that he dropped, it was a left hamstring, and it looks like there's a clear tear. Okay. So I don't know if he can be back in 4 weeks. I hope. But
no need to rush it. But we saw him come back from the MCL tear. Yeah. He just shows you when you put your mind to something, plus like all the rehab and having access to the best doctors and the best recovery possible. Maybe.
And how committed he is to the recovery, because that needs commitment. Yeah. If I had to bet, I think he will play Doha. Haroon, do you think he'll be playing for it?
I don't know. Maybe if he's feeling well, he'll probably play it. But I think he could play it. But again, it depends on how he feels.
There's 25 coming, Haroon, this year.
I had him. I have him winning 25 at least. Like I thought he was going to win 2 slams this year. I still believe he would have won it if he wanted to, and he wasn't injured this year. So I think also he's gonna win a slam this year, maybe two
So
if he recovers. Yeah, for sure I have 25 this year.
Okay, you have 25. After this Aussie Open, I see 25.
Yeah.
I see it. I hope Murray stays on. Do you think Murray would stay on?
Yeah, I think so. If they can just, I don't think he's going to be on for all the tournaments.
Yeah.
I think that he'll be there for the big tournaments.
Yeah.
Because Murray has a big family. So
Yeah.
The fact that he's been able to like dedicate 2 full weeks in Australia staying away from the family, that I think he's not going to do that often, which means it's only going to be slams and maybe a few masters that are close to home.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think that's more than enough. I don't think Djokovic needs more.
But it's his job. Like, if he wants to work as a coach, how is he gonna make it fit?
I mean, I think it seems that Murray is very committed to this job. By the way, according to everything we're hearing from Novak and otherwise. So it's an amazing partnership. I really hope it continues. I think he'll stay on. I mean, Djokovic said it's great feedbacks. And also the way he dominated Alcaraz means to me that he needs to stay on.
I didn't think they would leave. Why would they even leave? Like, why would this be a temporary project? Like,
I think it's just Murray has a family.
Yeah.
I think it's just Murray
And
has
also
a
to
family.
keep expectations down. Like, what if he didn't go well? What if it didn't go well? Like, they're not gonna. They don't need to marry each other to the idea.
Yeah, true.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But I was
Djokovic?
expecting him to stay at least for the year.
Yeah, let's see. We expect it.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Okay, so this is I love this segment because we need to put some respect on my boy's name, Yousef. You want somebody that needs some respect.
Yeah, and please bear with me here because I want to talk about Novak Djokovic. And it was absolutely, we talked about the tennis. Now let's talk about what happened off the court. Because what happened to Djokovic this past fortnight in Australia was maybe one of the most disgusting things I've seen in a long time.
It was shameful. Honestly, it was shameful.
Yeah. So when you start off with that reporter and what he said, all that crap, we all saw that. That was
Dude, just apologized. That was the weakest apology I've ever seen.
That was not funny in any way, shape, or form.
It was not funny, and it was disrespectful.
It was disgusting, and it was so disrespectful.
To Djokovic and to Serbian fans and Djokovic fans.
And kick him out. And the guy talked. Djokovic talked many times about how it was a traumatic thing for him. And so to say stuff like that, it was disgusting. And the fact that he came out and he weaseled his way through that apology. And Djokovic also, he's being classy and he accepted it and he kept it going. But he's a bigger man than me because I would have not accepted that. And then when we get into this entire thing about the injury. So Novak Djokovic, how many times do we have to see him? Like, we have 2 clear examples. So first of all, last year in Roland Garros against Cerundolo. And then he got injured, went down 2-1. And then people thought he was faking, needed medical attention, came back and won that match in 5 in an epic match. And then people saying, oh, he faked it to get back into the match. What happened 2 days after that?
Yeah,
he withdrew from the tournament.
Yeah, he had to.
So,
and he was injured the rest of the year.
And so he had surgery. He had a torn MCL. He had surgery right after the tournament, right after he withdrew from the tournament. And then he comes, and then obviously we know he made to the Wimbledon final. People also doubted that he had the surgery. Can you imagine the disgusting thoughts that, like, why would you think that? Like, why would someone like Novak Djokovic fake that? And then you can fast forward to this tournament, and then he's playing Alcaraz in the quarterfinals, and he's down a set. By the way, it was 4-all when he started to feel anything, got broken, and then he played it 5-4, lost the set, and then eventually he found like the painkillers and everything kicked in, and he was able to put on a masterclass performance to beat Alcaraz on basically one leg. And then people again accusing him fake. What happened? Did not practice for two days, and then he came back and he tried to play against Sasha. Took Sasha to a tiebreak in that first set, and then he said, "I'm done. I can't push any further." And then what happened? Then add on to that, the fans boo him.
For me, that was even more disgusting.
Disgusting. And by the way, let me just can we just compare a bit, because if we add Rafa to this conversation, just in comparison, not to take anything away from Rafa, but in 2022, when Rafa was injured and in Rome, and he was on one foot and he couldn't even continue, and he barely finished the match, and then he was going into Roland Garros, they're like, oh, is he going to win his 22nd slam? The guy was barely walking in Rome. And for 2 weeks, Rafa, being Rafa, the gladiator that he was, he won the tournament. And then after the tournament, he comes out and he says, I was basically playing with no feeling in my foot. He was taking painkillers like crazy. But did we ever question Rafa's injury? No. Did we ever question anything about Rafa? We said, no, this is the greatest gladiator there is in tennis. And he won the tournament. And when we applauded him and we praised him for that. Have we done that to Novak? No, we haven't. Why? And then, like, the worst thing is, and then he has to come out and the fact that the greatest player of all time, 24 slams, won the Australian Open 10 times, you booed him. And then he has to come out and he has to put out the MRI for you to see on social media for you to believe him.
Yeah, honestly,
that has to happen.
I was so sad to see that because I was like, maybe that means that he got that feeling that he needs to justify. Like, I was hoping
no one deserves. You don't.
I was hoping he didn't hear the noise, but he hears all the noise, and I was so sad. Honestly, I was sad to see that because
I did not want to see that. No, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
First of all, nobody needs to know what the exact injury. That's up to you. Yeah. That's private. And
post the MRI. You have to post the MRI.
You don't need to justify it to anyone.
That's how to me it's like the guy like Novak is like, why don't they believe me? It's fine. I'll post the MRI.
It was a big tear also. It's also not a small tear.
And this thing that athletes faking, these guys just have the mental fortitude to overcome these things because of how hungry they are, how the ability that they're able to overcome. And if you don't believe that players can play through these things, go look at the NFL. How many players we've seen players play with broken arms? We've seen players play with broken legs. Yeah. You just take a painkiller and you push through.
It also means that you've never played sports because adrenaline can push you through a cramp. It can push you through a big injury. Like, adrenaline is a big booster in those moments. So it just means that you're not an athlete, really, if you believe that an athlete can't play through an injury, even regardless of how big. And so it's completely unnecessary or unjustified, the treatment or the reaction. Like, not that, because at the end of the day, it was probably 5% of that crowd who booed, but the thing is that we should be wholeheartedly giving him the respect he deserves and sending him off because we don't know how long he's here.
You don't know if he's coming back. He's 37 years old.
And that's when all the other GOATs broke down. Yes. Roger and Rafa broke down at this age. And so we should savor the moment and we should keep him happy because you want him back. Yeah. So that's what's sad to me. It wasn't that many people. It was a small percentage of the crowd. But the small percentage of the crowd
where he
shouldn't happen.
It
shouldn't happen because it hurts all of us. It hurts all of us to see that because he's the GOAT.
Yeah, because you got these people represent tennis fans, and as tennis fans, we don't feel the same way.
Yeah, exactly. It's just some randoms who just paid some tickets.
But you know what's super sad is that the average age in the crowd is above 65%, which is these are supposed to be older people. 65%? 65. Sorry, 65. Like the age of 65. Okay. That's
a stat.
That's something I think Jessica Pegula said that or something like that. Which is. Or somebody, one of the American women's tennis players, she said that somebody told her that, which I'm basing it off of her. But if that's true, that's so sad. You're supposed to be an old person. You're supposed to be you have, you have some family or you went through
decency.
Life.
Decency went out the window.
It's so weird. That super not classy at all. Very disrespectful. It's disgusting.
You know how. Sorry, Haroon. You know how Serena boycotted basically the Madrid tournament because of some disrespectful comments, I think, from the tournament, from the owner of the tournament, something like that. I'm thinking if I'm Novak, do I just disregard Australia completely? What he's been going through so much pain ever since he's been going to Australia since the COVID thing, and maybe I just think I'm not coming back anymore. You guys don't deserve me. Yeah. And by the way, prices of the Australian Open tickets dropped by 65% once Djokovic withdrew from that semifinal.
Yeah, well, they better apologize.
Yeah, because something has to happen because this was disgusting. And if I'm Novak, obviously I said he's a better man than I am. I'd be like, okay, I won this tournament 10 times. I don't need you. I'm gonna go to these other tournaments.
Mr. Craig Tiley has some work to do.
He has some work to do. But Djokovic did thank him, so I'm guessing he's been the guys behind the scenes has been putting in
Craig
work.
Tiley, he's the one that brought him back to Australia, so for sure he's been trying. The Australian Open really needs to apologize to Djokovic.
Yeah, but to conclude this, there's only one thing to say, and it's put some respect on Novak Djokovic's name.
I don't even. That's such a weird thing for you to even say or think about. This guy
it makes no sense.
It has to be said though. It has to be said.
Also, he's a man of principle. I love that he boycotted that post-match interview.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that. I love when someone stands on their principles.
Yeah.
And he defended himself and his country and
defends
his
his
fans.
country.
I love it.
Yeah.
By the way, he will 100% be president of Serbia when he decides to retire.
So much respect for that, man.
If or whatever political office he wants. He wants to be president of the UN.
Yeah, it would be interesting
Wish
to
I could
see.
vote on that.
But my respect for him grows every day.
Yeah, he's awesome.
And I wasn't a big Djokovic fan, but like being an unbiased person, I can see the bias, and I hate it. I hate it, honestly. Well, that's it for that. You guys let us know in the comments what do you think of this entire Djokovic thing that happened in Australia. Let's move on though, because we have the biggest winner of the week.
7 Australian Opens, 15 slams. Not too bad. Not too bad.
Haroon, I know you have this segment is actually for you this episode, so take it away, my friend.
Yeah, I would like to mention a few players that I really was impressed with this week. The first one is Ben Shelton. Benny Shelts.
Yeah.
I've been high on Benny Shelts before, and I've been expecting him to do some great things. Making a semifinal, pushing Jannik, having a set point, taking it like he really gave him a good battle, and he started changing his tactics.
He pushed him more than Sasha, huh?
He pushed him way more than Sasha, and I argue like. Yeah, I felt like he has the game to even take down Sinner, maybe hopefully in the future, adjust him.
I 100% think so, yeah.
Yeah, and it was great. He deserves a lot of credit. He changed a lot of things in the way he plays, more aggressive, and he's bringing a lot of awesome things to tennis, bringing him swagger. He's cool. His demeanor on court is great, and he's so respectful, and everybody likes 100%. Ben. So I love to root for him, and I think he's going to do big things this week. Other than that,
I want to just say about Benny, he's so fun.
Yeah.
He's so fun. And I love his mental maturity and how he's coming together. And his game is coming together. He will be top 5.
I agree with everything you guys are saying. Loving Benny Boy.
Yeah. And it's just it's awesome. I can go watch highlights of just him hitting first serve. It's crazy. Sinner, by the way, was getting hit by it in the match. Like
he gave him one right to the chest.
I was like, wow. Imagine that's the number one player being like, whoa, I'm getting hit by a serve. that was pretty surreal to see. And somebody else I would like to mention, moving on from Ben Shelton, is Badosa. Like, Badosa really deserves some credit.
Paula Badosa.
Yeah,
nice.
She deserves some credit here because she made the semifinal as also same thing with Ben as well. And just 8 months ago, like last French Open, the Roland Garros, she was ranked 139, and now she's entering into the top 10. So congrats to Badosa. Like that, well done for her. Yeah. For her to come back strong, and also she didn't put much of a fight with Sabalenka, but she's starting to build some game, and she deserves a lot of credit for her comeback. And I can't wait to see more stuff from Badosa as well throughout the year. And I think that she's going to do also more great things this year, as well as I believe with Shelton. So those are my biggest winners of the week. They deserve a lot of credit. I was impressed. Great stuff from them.
Amazing two picks. Badosa went from basically doesn't even know she's going to play tennis again because of back injuries and how bad those can be. So amazing picks by you. Agree 100%, Ismaeel.
Yeah, also to climb all the way back up in the rankings is super tough.
Yeah.
And to get all the way back into the top 10?
Into the top 10.
That's really, really tough.
Yeah. Respect.
Tommy Paul talked about how hard it was to finally get there.
Yeah.
And so every spot, once you get to top 30, is actually a hassle.
Yeah. True.
So well done to those two. Yeah. All right, guys. One of our favorite segments that we like to bring every week. Spicy or no spicy?
A little bit spicy. Sorry, not as spicy at all.
Well, we had a lot of spicy stuff. We already talked about some of them with the Djokovic stuff. But Yousef starts off with your first one.
So we're going to talk about the boy again, Mr. Benny Boy Shelton. And Ben Shelton came out and he, after they finished the press conference, and he's like, I have something I have to say.
He's still on business.
I have something I have to say. And those on-court interviews, and he said, he called them out because they were some weird interviews.
They were weird.
Like, I'm watching them, and I'm like, but I see the players, they laugh it off, and then you're like, okay, maybe I heard, like, make me second guess. Yeah. what was that? Telling Monfils, hey, he's old enough, he can be your dad. And then Ben Shelton's like, was that black a joke? He's like, he doesn't understand, but he played it off because all the players, they come off so classy in all these interviews. And then Lerner Tien, obviously, he talked about that one where you guys have to go watch that interview because it made no sense to me. And the way he just called out the broadcaster and saying, you guys should be actually helping us, not hindering us when we're on the biggest stage and we're supposed to be taking in the moment. You guys are supposed to be shining us, and that's not what happens. So that was nice. I loved to see it from Benny Shelton, the way that he was able to defend all these guys. He defended Novak. He defended.
By the way, I love that he defended Novak because Novak had that the thing with the phone call and that. So but that didn't stop him from defending Djokovic, and I love that. I love Benny standing on business.
Yeah, Benny Shelton's a classy player, just a very classy player.
So that was to me, that was the moment where okay, this is we're not taking this anymore. And then then obviously other players piled on, said, what's this? So he started the conversation, and it was nice to see someone take initiative like that and defend the players and also call out these things because I think it improved from then on.
Yeah, and also he was so eloquent the way he said it, and he chose the right timing.
Yeah.
And I am so loving the maturation of Ben Shelton. I am becoming a huge, huge fan.
Hats off to his mom and dad because they raised an amazing kid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a kid.
Yeah, he is a kid. But that was mine.
Yeah.
But Ben Shelton.
Yeah. Well, I have one on my end, and let me just preface this with saying that you guys know I love Alcaraz, right? And I even picked him to win this tournament. I'm a huge Alcaraz fan, and he's, for me, arguably the most exciting athlete in sports. But there's something I didn't like, and I don't know if what I saw is truly what I saw, but when he lost that third set to Djokovic, and then he was shocked, of course, by how well Djokovic was moving. Djokovic, the painkillers obviously kicked in. He was really playing amazing tennis. And then on the sidelines, he started getting up, kind of shaking off his leg and stiffening up his hip, and is referring to that he has an injury. It was unclear if he was mocking Djokovic or if he was himself struggling with something. The commentators said that it's kind of he's losing his mind, so he's kind of referring to the Djokovic injury, how's this guy moving so well. I don't know what it was. He was looking at his box when he did that, so it might be that he was struggling with something and he was communicating that.
His leg was wrapped.
And his leg was wrapped too, so it could be that. I hope it was that.
Yeah. If it wasn't though,
the fact is that it's really disrespectful to. First of all, because they have a great relationship.
They do.
They share kind words all the time, and even the videos of them in the locker room, they have massive respect and even a friendship, it seems, between them. Yeah. And I don't want that to change because I love that being the image of tennis of the two of the top champions in history.
New generation, older generation.
Exactly, and so there's a great vibe there. I hope that's not going to be harmed. I mean, the handshake was amazing. They shared the kind words. After the presser also, Alcaraz was very eloquent and kind and giving Djokovic his credit. So maybe there's nothing.
So was Novak.
But in the moment, you don't want to see that. Alcaraz is a 4-time Grand Slam champion. He's fought through injury. He knows what it's like to be through injury. He doesn't need to do that.
If it was, though, I understand because all of a sudden you're down 2-1 and you were up, and it's just 5 seconds, and I don't think those 5 seconds, to me, when I first saw it, I'm like, is he making fun of him? Yeah, that's disrespectful. That's aggravating. At the same time, I'm like, I'm not gonna let 5 seconds be how I see Carlos Alcaraz.
100%, and I agree with you. The problem is that some people are not as hardcore tennis fans as we are, and so the average viewer, it might look like he's not mocking Djokovic. Yeah. The average viewer doesn't know his legs are wrapped. Actually, I didn't know his leg was wrapped until later, and so it even turned me off from Alcaraz for a bit in that moment, and I love Alcaraz. So I don't think he should do it. We shouldn't see that. Of course, he's young, he's gonna learn, but I love Alcaraz in general. I'm glad it didn't get blown up into more, and see that they were friendly afterwards. And so I'm glad it was the way it was. All right, Haroon, do you have one?
Yeah, I do. I do have one, and this is, in my opinion, I think the spiciest one a bit of all. Well, it was the most one that got some traction on social media and stuff like that. It was the Iga long bathroom break, and then her shadow hitting also, and then also her stopping Madison Keys before serving. So after the second set, when Iga lost that second set, she took a bathroom break, and then everybody kept on saying it was a long bathroom break. For the umpire, it wasn't long, and then it was the correct timing, but everybody thought it was taking too long. And when she came back on court, which was, well, the feeling of late, she was shadow hitting, like while Madison Keys is preparing to serve, and like giving her
The video, when you look at it, it's like
yeah,
It's so wild.
It looks so weird.
Yeah.
To be fair, she started shadow hitting before the umpire called the start of the third set, so maybe don't have like some benefit of the doubt for Iga, but she continued doing it when he called it, and then Madison Keys was waiting all that time, like while she was just ready to serve before Iga started shadow hitting, and then once Madison Keys was coming to serve, then Iga stopped her, like she does that sometimes. So there's a lot of also controversy going on with Iga because she always takes a bathroom break when she goes down a set, and then she interrupts the server sometimes to get him out of his rhythm. So that's kind of a bit, a spicy incident because it's a bit unsportsmanlike. She is not doing anything illegal. The umpire is supposed to enforce the calls even a bit more. And if she's doing anything wrong, then he's supposed to hold her accountable. But it's a bit weird. And then like just her shadow hitting while Madison Keys is preparing to serve, it just it looks so off. So yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's like clear gamesmanship. And gamesmanship is not new for Iga. She employs this gamesmanship tactics frequently.
especially the raising the racket.
The one that bothers me the most, actually, that the shadow hitting, actually, so maybe the umpire didn't call time, the crowd was noisy. I'm actually, all right, let's say I'm okay with that one. I actually don't like the raising the racket right before she's about to serve. Like,
It's so common with her, by the way.
and it happens a lot. She does that a lot, and she knows she's disrupting the other player's rhythm, and I really don't like that.
Yeah.
What was
Guess
great
what?
though, is that Madison Keys then hit an ace right after that happened. So it was such a great feeling if you're the one hitting that ace and everybody's supporting Madison Keys because you don't like what Iga is doing. But yeah, it's weird,
I felt like that ace, like everything maybe Iga was trying to do, trying to get take the momentum, get the rhythm. That ace just killed everything.
Yeah.
Back to normal.
Yeah. And before Maddie served, you saw the stare down. She looked at.
Yeah,
the
she
umpire.
asked the umpire, like, what's up with the time here? What's going on? So
Madison
the
Keys was
plan
asking about the
working.
time. She was just asking how much is left because she felt it was taking a bit long. She didn't say anything
And it was a
beyond
bit
just
long.
asking.
It was a bit long, but it's not that she did anything illegal or incorrect, but it was just a long time. But I think there's something wrong with the toilets because they might be far away or something. Even Jannik took a long time in his break. And,
It took 15 minutes.
yeah, I know that was.
Interesting. Yeah. Then we have to get into our next segment, and this is a new segment that we're doing, but after Grand Slams, lots of things happen, storylines change. So we have two questions. Who is leveling up and who is leveling down? Do you guys want to start with the up or the down?
Let's start with the down and end with the up.
Okay, then Ismaeel, who's leveling down after this Aussie Open?
I mean, it's all the former next gen, these 90s players. They're looking really bad.
Former
right
next
now.
gen.
and I start off with my boy Stefanos Tsitsipas.
Oh,
He's not doing well. He's going down.
Tsitsipas is going down. Haroon, who's going down?
I also have to say, although I love him so much, I think I have to say Medvedev is also leveling down as well.
Yeah,
Mehdi's going down, and my boy is going down. Rublev is going
Mehdi
down.
might drop out of the top 20 if he doesn't rack up Mehdi.
Oh, why?
Like if he doesn't rack up points over the next couple tournaments here, he's gonna be in risk of going down hard in the rankings.
They're all in risk.
Yeah.
Yeah, see him also going down after that amazing run in Adelaide.
I think it's fine. Like he's not so high that he can go so far down. So he's not like the other ones.
Then how about who's going up?
All the next gen, and so hyped for this generation of next gen.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm super high on Fonseca, but I love also what we saw from the other guys too.
Yeah.
Lerner and
Yeah.
Mickelson and
Menchik.
Menchik.
Haroon, who's going up for you?
Well, my boy, Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud is going up. My boy is going up.
He's going down, but going up,
Yeah,
which is like it's
in
such
the
a
rankings,
funny
he's
thing.
going up, but in general, it doesn't look like he's trending up.
Imagine you get upset in the earlier rounds, but you're actually going up.
Yeah, he's gonna be the number 5 in the world now.
Casper Ruud's such a
Also,
interesting
Demon's going
way
up
he's
as
been
well.
able to. Demon going up.
After that loss,
Sonego going up.
Sana going way
Shelton
up.
going up.
Shelton,
Monfils going up.
Monfils go
Davidovich Fokina going up.
all the way up.
Lots of guys going up.
Tommy Paul.
Tommy Paul
Literally
going
going up in the rankings.
Yes, sir. Into the top 10 for the
into the
first
top
time
10.
in his career.
Yeah, well done, Tommy
Well
Paul.
done, Tommy Paul.
I hope he can handle what happened in that last Zverev match to take the positives.
And
Let us know who's going up for you guys.
And the biggest of all, Madison Keys.
Yeah, well, she's way
We
up.
all know that one. That goes without saying. So we need you guys to let us know who's going up for you and who's going down.
All right, time for my favorite segment of this week. Cool dude moment of the week.
Let's go.
Oh my God, so much energy in this return. I love it for my story, Rog. Oh my God.
Yousef, start us off. What's yours?
And this leads back to the Novak Djokovic segment. And after everything that happened that we saw, and he got booed after retiring from the match. And Sasha, this guy is as classy as they come. The first thing he does in his post-match interview, and he says, 1 second, guys, show some respect to Novak Djokovic. This guy is a 10-time champion in your tournament, and we saw him win this Grand Slam with a torn abdomen and with a torn hamstring. So if he can't go, he can't go. So show this man some love and show him some respect. And it was amazing.
He said, please don't boo.
Yeah, and please don't boo the man. Sasha just stood up, and I love that moment. That just shows. And he talked also about how Djokovic, he sat with him in Shanghai for hours when Sasha was feeling down, and he sat with him, and this guy Novak gave him advice and just like being a friend, a good friend to him. And it was nice to see this guy stand up for this guy. You love to see it. It shows the sportsmanship. It shows the brotherly love that these guys have between each other. And then after the final, we know Sasha, he was crying, he was feeling the pain, and then Djokovic tweets out and he says, "Keep your head up, my friend. You're gonna finally win one." I think that to me that was the cool dude moment of the week for me. I love to see it. Love this brotherly love between Sasha and Nole. But yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was a really cool one. Haroon, what about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say that was a nice, cool dude moment, Yousef. But I have to say the bromance between Monfils and Shelton, I like that a lot. Monfils is such a cool dude, such a lovable guy, and so is Shelton. So the way they talk about each other, like Monfils was saying, he's such a good kid, he's such a great player. That was awesome. Like, you know, it's just, that's a wholesome moment that you love and you want more of it. And you like these when players compliment each other and talk good about each other, and they respect each other also and understand the depth of each other. So yeah, that was mine. I love that, and I loved how passionate Monfils felt about Shelton, and it also just shows how great Shelton is, and you root for him even more when somebody that respected as a player as Monfils talks so highly of him. You know, so that was really nice.
I think, by the way, Monfils spoke about him even more because he knows that Ben kind of got like some hate in the beginning of his career when he first showed up. So I think it was a statement Monfils was making, like I want to back Ben Shelton a bit. And you can see the love and respect that he has for Ben Shelton and the entire family, because on his way out, he hugged every single person in Ben Shelton's box. Yeah. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was one of my favorite moments.
Yeah.
Too. Good one, Haroon.
Smythe, you have one.
Yeah, I have two. First one is one that I just loved so much. So Madison Keys, a fan came out and said, named Sam Young, and was put up the tweet here, and his mom was battling through cancer, and he was a big Madison fan, attending her matches, and she sent his mom a care package, and it was awesome.
Yeah. That's you know when you see these players and they stand and they show that they can use their celebrity to do good. Madison's just the MVP this week, isn't she? That's
Love
awesome.
her so much.
Yeah. I think one last one we need to talk about is in the final. Again, we know that Sasha was going through the pain that he's been going through in third Grand Slam final, not able to win it, and Jannik saw him in pain. He saw him a bit shedding some tears and crying, but what did he do? He went and he consoled him, and he told him that and then in the speech he told him you have the tennis and you're gonna win one day very soon. and hugging him, and like not just with his words, but also with his hands. He hugged him and he put his hand on his shoulder and told him, "I'm here for you." And it was lovely to see Jannik do that. It was I love to see these great ambassadors for tennis. So when young kids in tournaments, when they have battles and when they're going up against each other, at the end of the day, when you see these guys on the biggest stage, they're able to be there for one another. You should do that too. So that was an awesome moment from Jannik, the world number one, showing empathy and showing kindness and being there for his rival in his worst moment. So that was also amazing.
It was the epitome of class, and this is what you love about sport and love about tennis, especially when you see two champions having that type of friendship and that type of respect between each other. And it's wonderful.
It's amazing to have these guys as ambassadors for tennis.
It's awesome.
It was a lovely moment. These were all lovely moments. And this week was an amazing week when it comes to this. And moving on from our cool dude moment of the week, this was an amazing one. But now we get into the one and only Overreaction or Not. And you guys know that after Grand Slams, we're finishing this week, these 2 weeks, and we're like, we are brimming with some crazy reactions. Some of us are over the top, some are not. So let's get into some that we have. And I need you guys to let me know. I'm going to name a few, and you guys let me know, is it an overreaction or not? So first off, Jannik Sinner will win more Australian Opens than Novak Djokovic. Overreaction or not, Ismaeel?
Wow, that's a wild overreaction. And it's understandable given how well Jannik's been playing in Australia. But no, because he has to win at least 8 more.
Yeah.
And Novak's still counting. You know, Novak might win another one next year. So it might mean, but no. And I love Jannik, and he's playing amazing. He's going to be an all-time legend, but no. Okay. I don't think so.
Haroon, overreaction or not?
In terms of tennis-wise, like it's not an overreaction, but my question is the longevity. Is Sinner going to be able to stay like that for years and years? Novak has been defying time, father time by being so healthy for so long. I don't know. Right now it's overreaction, but if he proves that he's able to stay healthy with a long period of time, I think it might be even an underreaction.
But he took all of Djokovic's physio and physical.
Yeah, exactly.
I was about to say that. Yeah.
Actually, fine. Let me say it's a slight overreaction right now, just because we respect Novak so much.
Yeah.
I love what Sinner's doing. This is an overreaction, my friends. Let's calm down. Let's calm down. The same way you guys were hyping up Fonseca. Let's calm down with all this stuff. He has 8 more to go. We have Alcaraz. We have all these young guys that are hungry.
And maybe Zverev will get one.
Yeah. So overreaction for me. Then the next one. Jannik Sinner will win 3 slams this season. Overreaction or not, Haroon?
No, that's a bit of a reaction.
He has one now.
That's a bit of a reaction. I think he's a hardcourt beast, but Wimbledon and RG is gonna be tough. We still don't know how dominant he is there. It's a bit an overreaction right now.
Haroon, Ismaeel?
I'm gonna say overreaction just because. Okay, I think he'll win the U.S. Open given how great he is on hard. I don't know if he can win RG or Wimbledon yet. I like others. Yeah. I like the field.
I go with overreaction too. I think Roland Garros is not his. And Wimbledon, I'm going to keep saying this, Wimbledon is Carlos Alcaraz, my friends.
All right, my turn, guys. I have 2 for you. Alcaraz will not be the youngest to win the career Grand Slam, which means that he needs to win the Australian Open, and he has 2 more shots to win it. Yousef, do you think he'll do it?
Yeah, I think he's going to do it. This is an overreaction, and I think it's going to happen. And I am still high on Alcaraz.
He'll win it next year or the year after?
Well, I can't say at the moment, but I think he's going to get this done, because when he puts his mind to something, Alcaraz knows how to rise up. And he didn't against the greatest of all time, but I think he can rise up and get one maybe in the next 2 years. Not an overreaction. I mean overreaction. Yeah.
Okay, Haroon.
I can't bet against great players. So no, I'm gonna say it's not an it is an overreaction. I'm not going against great players like Alcaraz. 2 more chances is more than enough for him. That's overreaction, my friend.
Ismaeel.
I don't think it's an overreaction actually, because I actually like Sinner, Djokovic, and Zverev ahead of him in Australia, and that's not to know who else might shine. I don't think the fast courts, he doesn't like it. I think
he owns the summer though.
Yeah, but he doesn't like the fast hard, and so I don't think he'll get one. just not in the next 2 years.
So Rafa's going to hold on to that one for you.
Yeah,
huh?
Rafa will hold on to that record. For all Rafa fans, rejoice.
You have another one?
I have another one. Djokovic will never win another major.
Oh my God. Overreaction. I just told you he's going to win RG. Haroon.
No, that's a major overreaction. You can't go against big, great players like Djokovic. What are you talking about? It's a major overreaction.
No.
He's gonna get his
Major
25th slam this year. You will see.
What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. 100% he's going to get one this year. 25 is happening in 25. And by the way, God forbid it doesn't happen in 25. It's happening in 26. Don't worry. So it's coming. Okay?
Okay, then I have this one, but it's a bit sad, you know, with the context and how the final ended, and because Zverev was sad a bit. But Zverev will never win a slam. What do you guys think? Yousef, what do you think?
He's going to win one. Because I want to manifest. I want to manifest. He's going to win one. He's 27. He's playing his best tennis at the moment. He's eventually going to break through and get one. I hope actually he gets more than one. I think he's going to get more than one. So overreaction. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I think he'll get one. And actually, I was thinking to myself, like, if he wins today, he could be a perennial Grand Slam champion. He's in his prime. He's fit as a bull. Like, he has the tennis. He can do it. It's just a mental unlock that he's going to need to...
The same way Sinner unlocked something, I think Sasha can unlock something.
Me too. I believe he can.
When is it going to happen? I want it to happen.
Yeah, me too. Even if he doesn't win in the next 3 years, he can win one when he's 31. That's not old.
Yeah.
He will win one.
Yeah.
I don't know, my friends. Like I don't mean to disrespect Zverev, but I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. That he's a great player, but I just don't believe it. I feel like something happens, and even when all the stars align and he gets so close, I don't know. I don't believe it, my friends. Sorry.
I hope not. He already knows he's the greatest player to not win a slam, and he was talking about it in the pro.
No one wants that. No one wants that.
Yeah,
no one wants
I hope not.
Give
us another one.
It's a curse of the Bambino. Okay, and this is an exciting one. I like. Ben Shelton is going to win Indian Wells. Overreaction or not, Ismaeel?
Yeah, I know you're super high on Benny. I'm high on him.
Especially Indian Wells for some
Yeah,
reason.
you want him to win Indian Wells. I think he'll win a Masters at some point. I don't know if this year, if he's ready to do it, but I don't think he'll win Indian Wells because Carlos owns that.
Yousef.
No, that's not an overreaction. He made it to the semifinal of Australian Open. Not an overreaction, Haroon.
There we
and
go.
after what we saw, I think your bold prediction is not so bold after all, and it's closer to becoming something that could happen. Yeah.
So you're taking Ben Shelton over the field?
No, not at the moment, but it's not an overreaction to me.
Is it in general? If in general he will win Indian Wells, yeah.
No,
maybe,
this year.
This
year.
This year.
This year.
It's not an overreaction to
it's
me.
Not an overreaction. No, it's not an overreaction. But I just don't think he'll win it this year.
Let's see. Haroon, yours.
It is
overreaction.
No, it's not an overreaction at all. The boy,
of course, because it's your bold prediction.
Semi-final at Australian Open is as long as it's almost an entire length of a tournament. He can show that he goes deep. He showed that he's facing tough players, and he took Sinner. He gave him some fits, and I think that he's going to be ready for the next battle with whoever. Let's see.
I'm going to be watching Indian Wells so closely for Ben Shelton only because of Haroon's picks.
I'm so hyped. Also with the home crowd, I can't wait to see what happens there. So hyped.
I'm telling you, we shall see, my friends.
Let's see.
Let's see. All right, guys. Well, we need to be honest with you guys and tell you where we were right and where we were wrong with our picks. Where we were right, Haroon had it with the dark horse. He had Madison Keys. Good job, Haroon. That was a good pick. That was a bold, good pick. So happy for Maddie. Yeah. Where we were wrong?
Yes, sir.
We were all wrong.
Completely.
We were all wrong with our title pick. It's so bizarre that
but you were
actually
more
none
wrong.
of us took
you were more wrong than we were, though.
I was potentially more wrong, yes.
Not potentially, factually.
And you and Yousef had Djokovic.
Still wrong, though.
For the women,
we get no points.
We were also all wrong because
Haroon, you had Sabalenka, though.
You had Sabalenka. Haroon, you had Rybakina.
But
I had
Madison Keys beat Rybakina, so I'm still. I wasn't wrong. Those were my two picks.
Maddie was amazing. Maddie was amazing, and so that's just to be transparent with you guys where we were right, where we were wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
By the way, tennis does not stop, my friends. So the Australian Open is over, but we are moving into a new week. Next week, we're going on back to Europe into Montpellier. 250 in Montpellier, my friends. Haroon, Ismaeel. Are you guys ready for your picks? Ismaeel, who you got?
Yeah, Felix is seeded 2 there. I'm high on what he did in the pre whatever before Australia. So I'm taking.
It's such a quick turnaround, though.
Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. He's fresh.
Yeah.
I like Felix.
Okay. Haroon, who'd you got?
Before even the list of seeds and draw was confirmed, I was just gonna pick whoever the number 1 seed is, and in that case, it's Rublev. I feel actually I'm quite confident about my pick with Rublev because even though I was down on Rublev before, but the way he played that Fonseca match and the way he ended it gave me some I unlocked a lot of positive things from that. He seems like the mental game is better, so I think Rublev can win this title.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to go with the man who won this tournament before and maybe find some magic again, but nobody trusts him to even win a match. Alexander Bublik. I think I'm going with Bublik on this one. Is he going to let me down? Most probably. But let's see. I'm taking Bublik. He's a fun pick. He's a fun player. I love to watch him.
He's a fun pick.
Yeah.
He's a fun pick.
That's it.
All right, guys. Well, that wraps it up for our Australian Open episode. Let us know what you think about our picks and how we covered it in the comments. Let us know what you think about the future. Like, subscribe, do all the stuff. We'll be back here next week.
An amazing week of tennis.
Awesome. It's
See
so
you guys
awesome to
next
have
week.
Slam Tennis back. See you
Get
guys.
some sleep also, because I think none of us got sleep.
Yeah, it was wild. See you.
Have a good night. Good night. Good night. Very good night.